Okay, so I'm here today with Mike. He's a resident in Harrison Township. He called me up and he wanted me to come take a look at his property he's got over here in Lake St. Clair. And I'll let him tell you for his own self, I guess, where he lives, what's happening, and what's been going on the last couple of years more so, and what really happened this year especially.
Hi, my name is Mike. I live at the Hidden Cove condominiums in Harrison Township. This was dredged in 2013, this whole marina, 12 wells with a riprap out about 150 feet from the shoreline. It was dredged to an 11-foot depth 2 years ago.
So right here, this was dredged 11 feet down.
Yes, 11 feet down. 2 years ago, these floating pods started to come in and fill up the marina. And as you can see, if I put a boat hook into the water, what we pull out that's below the surface and below this hard floating pile of muck or whatever you want to call it. I'll be nice today.
Yeah.
Thanks to Oakland County. We have had pumps in here trying to push this stuff out. We've done a lot of expense. We have bought what's called a DIY dredge to bring it in and suck this stuff out. But it's a futile effort because we can't move it far enough.
And this goes again. Video doesn't give out not give out the sense of smell either.
Right.
So nobody's smelling how bad this smells.
Which is now about a foot above the muck. When the muck is exposed to the air and the sunlight, you cannot sit on our balconies out here. You cannot walk out here. It just takes your breath away and gags you.
You're talking about all this.
This is 12 wells, about 150, 180 feet wide.
And you might be able to see, or maybe not, it's giving too much reflection, how much of this stuff is in here. Already filled this all the way up.
And it was dredged in 13 to a total depth of 11 feet all the way out to the riprap.
And you're telling me...
At a cost of about $150,000, which we paid for ourselves because nobody would help us. The county wouldn't pitch in, or Oakland County. There was no help whatsoever, so the 12 well owners foot the bill for this. The whole association of 24 condos doesn't have to pay that. It's just the 12 well owners that own the wells.
And just so people understand where in Harrison Township you are pretty much almost directly south of the spillway.
We are directly south of the spillway.
And the spillway, just so you know, I don't know if you even know this number, but Oakland County this year has dumped over 2.2 billion gallons of sewage overflow just this year, let alone every other year they've been dumping in, on average, over 1 billion gallons of sewage overflow each year, and each year that number seems to be going up and up and up. And this is the result of it. The sewage overflows come in through the spillway around this corner over here, pop into the lake, fuel these algae blooms, fuel this muck growth, fuel everything over here, including what has already been tested to have verified human waste in it. And it flows out around here, and this is just one area of many that this stuff comes in and gets trapped in along the shoreline. And then once it's trapped along here like this is, and you said this wasn't here 2 years ago, right?
2 years ago it wasn't here.
But once this is here and it starts solidifying, it starts accumulating more muck against it and actually underneath it. So right now this is one big floating pod basically of muck that you can almost stand on. Again, I wouldn't advise on it, but you know,
we've had guys stand on it.
But what happens is this now makes this unusable waterway access. And I don't know if you can see, I'll try to zoom in, but the prop on this guy's boat over here is just filled with muck. And you mentioned that the motor had...
It's got internal damage.
And so you're not just dealing with homeowners having issues with it, you're having boats, you know, getting internal damage from this, trying to get, you know, all the way out there back into here and where they need to be. So again, the video does not give out sense of smell, but imagine this on a sunny day in July. Have you guys had your windows open at all this past year?
We have, because the water's been high.
Okay.
And we've had a lot of offshore wind, so the smell hasn't been real bad, only because we have water on top of the muck that's 11 feet
Actually, that's a
deep.
good point. So here, look, you can see along this, you can see that mark. That's where the water level was at the highest point this year. Now the water level was covering this, but again, the water level is starting to drop. Right now it's the end of September, and this is where you're starting to get this stuff starting to expose out and become what it is. And again, if this water level continues to drop, which the water level is still at its highest it's ever been, pretty much.
Yeah, you're 2 feet above normal.
Exactly. So imagine this, 2 more feet down. This whole area, this whole bay is all going to be. Yep.
You can see that the water, the muck, is just, as of right now in that spot there, it's probably 8 inches, maybe 6 inches below the water level.
And what people don't realize, I don't know if you want to take your thing and just and pop it down here. It's this whole area that literally another foot of water drops, you've got nothing but muck. This whole bay in here.
You can see my pole is down. It was probably a 10-foot pole at this point. I can't even pull it, but I'll bring up some what I can.
Yeah. And again, this is all part and
just unbelievable.
This is all part and thanks to the sewage overflows that fuel all of this stuff. And I guess the reason why we want to show this is the fact that this is fixable. We don't need to live like this. And this is the aftermath from Oakland County, especially dumping into the Red Run drain, which dumps into the Clinton River, which dumps into the spillway, which flows out into Lake St. Clair, just north of here, is causing all of this to happen. And has Oakland County paid any money to Macomb or Macomb residents to fix this? No. And that's a problem. This should have a daily recourse of cleaning this up. After every sewage overflow, they should be out here cleaning this up.
We have invested a lot of money in pumps to try to push this stuff out, and it just burns up the pumps. We've got $6,000 worth of pumps sitting out here right now that are just totally wasted, because in 2 years trying to push this stuff out, and it has, we've got one pump operating right here right now. That's a $2,000 pump, and the muck is maybe 1.5 feet below in the area where it's pumping, but it can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
We can't get it out of here.
Yep.
It's impossible. We've had estimates this year as high as $85,000 to come in and just clean out the 12 wells.
Do you think this has affected your property value?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm paying taxes on a well that I can't use. Why should I pay taxes to Harrison Township for something I can't use? They're not helping us.
And have you gone to Harrison Township asking for help?
Absolutely, we have. I know there's grant money out there, but they're not willing to try to help us get it.
This is just a part. I will try to maybe do an overhead aerial shot as well to show you. But this is what happens pretty much south of any discharge point in Lake St. Clair where we discharge sewage overflows. You can see this muck accumulating, and this year has been one of the worst years ever, thanks to Oakland County dumping in over 2.2 billion gallons, and we still have 3 months to go. October, November, December. Who knows what that number is going to be if we have more storm
Just to add
events.
a little more fuel, the pumps run on 220 voltage. If we run them 7 days, 24/7, we're looking at $2,000 a month in electricity just to run those pumps. And we've burned up 2 $6,000 pumps in 2 years. It will circulate the top water, but it won't get the muck out. If Mike wants to take a walk down a little further, I can show you the pumps, but they come from Italy, and we can't even get replacement parts for them.